So it's finally back after 3 long years since the end of season 4. And not only is Stranger Things back, but it's also back for the last time. Now, it's incredibly rare for Netflix to keep a show alive till its natural end. But the real question is, has it been worth it so far? Well, the first 4 episodes of season 5 dropped at 1 a.m. this morning here in the UK, and given I'm deeply committed to this channel, I got up at 1 a.m. to find out. So, how's season 5 been so far? Well, I think we're off to a reasonably solid start. It didn't quite grab me in its opening in the way that season 4 did. However, as the episodes went on, things start to escalate quite quickly, especially around episode 2. So, this season takes most of its first episode to lay out the groundwork for what's to come. With every new season, the cast of characters in Stranger Things grew, and therefore by this stage, there's quite a lot of storylines that the narrative's having to juggle. But on the whole, I think it's doing a very good job of juggling them so far. One of my concerns going into this season was whether, in an effort to raise the stakes and spectacle, as all finales tend to do, that the smaller characters would fade into the background. And this would have been particularly sad because the thing that's always driven Stranger Things were those smaller, more intimate moments between characters. So I'm very pleased to report that these are absolutely still a key element of this show. And if anything, the raising of the stakes heightens these smaller moments between characters. From the opening scene, you also get the sense that this season is tying everything together, which began all the way back in 2016 with the first season. However, I haven't found that the show's falling into the trap of overindulging in nostalgia, which many finales to stories often end up doing. There's still very much a fresh narrative driving the plot forwards, and the occasional look back is done to enhance rather than to distract us from the current events of the plot. I also noticed that this season seemed by far the most cinematic of all the seasons yet. There's some very creative shots as well as some more complex editing techniques used that give this season a much more premium feel to it. It's been quite a few years since I watched season 4, and I've learnt a lot more about filmmaking in that time, so that might be why I'm noticing this a lot more. However, I definitely think there has been a step up in the filmmaking quality. I think the fact that the US is getting a cinema release of the finale just goes to show how Stranger Things has perhaps become the ultimate example of cinematic television. And I think when watching this season especially, I was really feeling that. Without spoiling anything, by the end of episode 4, the main stakes of the season have been laid out very well indeed, and we have some idea now of where this season is going to take us, and I definitely think that this show has a great deal of potential to succeed in delivering a fantastic ending to this whole story. So Volume 1 has laid that groundwork well, and I would say on that basis that it's been a success so far. Of course, we need to see the whole season before we can make any definitive conclusions on the quality of Season 5's story, but the first 4 episodes gave me a lot of faith that Stranger Things might just actually pull off a great ending. As expected, the cast are all once again superb at bringing their characters to life just as well as they always have been, and I think the story so far has given them all very engaging material to work with, which brings out the best in them as performers. And lastly, I think it's worth mentioning that the episode lengths vary quite a bit so far. So personally, I much prefer this because it means that each episode has the time it needs to tell its particular part of the plot without having to rush or become glacially slow just to hit a mandated hour-long runtime like many shows have to for their episodes. But you just bear that in mind in case you're planning on binge watching the first 4 episodes, as it will take you more than 4 hours to do so. But yeah, I think it's off to a very promising start, and I think it will hopefully continue that way. So yeah, my review of season 5 so far is yes, I think that it has been a success, and I think it will continue to be, and potentially it could deliver a very, very good ending. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And if you're interested in seeing more coverage on Stranger Things 5, as well as other videos on your favourite movies and shows, please do like and subscribe if you wouldn't mind doing so. Thank you.